Hey guys, this is Frank, it's Duelist. I am with
Mitchell Ventura.
and what did you do today?
I got first in the. What is this place?
This is Dre's Games and Family Fun Entertainment.
Yes, I got first place with Gren Maju.
Oh, okay. You ended up winning the Xbox Series S.
Yes.
In our tournament.
Yes, I did.
So even though it wasn't a big turnout, I think it was only 21. We had a bunch of competitive players, if not some of the best competitive players in Arizona.
Yep.
So what did? I guess we might as well get into the deck profile, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome. So since this is Gren Maju going second, three Alpha the Master Beasts. It's kind of self-explanatory. So the danger package, I play three of each, Bigfoot and three of each, Bigfoot and Thunderbird.
Did you not run the Nessie or the Jackmo?
I did not, because these are the 2 level 8s that are relevant.
Okay.
There's multiple win conditions besides just Gren Maju, and the ranking span, which we'll get into in a second. We'll show you why.
All right.
Kaijus. I do main deck Kaijus. I only main deck 2. The 2 relevant ones for Gamma Seal, obviously for the lowest attack, and then Godarla, just in case of the Wind Barrier statue.
Okay.
I know people are still, some Tribeca players are still running that, but I still haven't. I haven't seen that in a good while, so it doesn't matter.
That and those are the 2 relevant level 8s, right?
Yes. So these are the 2 relevant level 8s as well. Next, 3 of the Gizmek Orochis.
That one seems pretty obvious.
Self-explanatory for Gren Maju.
For Gren Maju.
It has to be. So the 2 normal summons. Gren Maju, 3 of each, obviously. That's the whole deck. Fairy Tail Luna. If I know I cannot OTK, or if my opponent makes me go first, this is my other option. Luna Kaiju control is very strong in this meta.
Okay. That one's target itself and a monster your opponent controls and bounce them both.
Yes, bounce them both. Yes, they have to send. They can negate the effect by sending another copy of the targeted card to the deck from the deck or extra deck to the graveyard to negate that effect. But since this is a quick effect, in the long run, it does add up.
Did anybody end up actually sending a kaiju?
No. If I kaiju someone, typically no one ever has a kaiju in their main.
Okay.
And they typically don't side deck kaijus against me, so it's like.
It makes sense. I mean, the only time that you would want to kaiju Gren Maju is to kaiju literally Gren Maju.
If they survive, yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. So hand traps. So most Gren Maju players do not play any hand traps. But I feel these hand traps are necessary for this. Oh, before we get into that, actually, 2 Eater Millions. Why not?
Yeah, I asked this before I saw you putting this out. Why only 2 instead of 3?
Only 2 instead of 3 because, first off, deck size. I've done a lot of calculations with deck size, and this deck size is actually 42. Because I play Pod Desires, the deck size actually turns out to in my favor, mathematically speaking, in my favor to only run a 42 card deck, and this is the one card that I cut down to 2.
Okay.
Nothing bad against the card. It's a great card, but that I felt this was the one card that was best to go to 2, besides the kaijus themselves, obviously.
That, and I think that it is the most relevantly irrelevant card, other than just being the fact that it's a banish from the extra deck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it does have a good battle phase effect, but most people can play around it.
Most people play around it, yes. It's strictly for simplified game's sake. Have either have Gren Maju with Gizmek or Gren Maju and Eater Millions.
Okay, and then you were talking about the hand trap.
So hand traps are.
Sorry, you got this annoying fly. This thing has been bothering us for hours.
So Gren Maju players typically do not run any hand traps, and they typically only, if they do, they only run D-Shifter. I do not main D-Shifter, as you'll find out later. So I play 3 Ghost Spell and 3 Phantasme. Phantasme is really great in this format. It hits almost every deck except for maybe like Virtual World. it fixes your hand, it puts a body on board, and that body actually is, because he's 24, okay, with the exception of Gamma Seal, he still allows Alpha to be live.
Okay.
I didn't play Gamma, I didn't play Ash over Ghost Bow, because Ghost Bow I feel is a lot more relevant in the meta, better than Ash. Ash is better against Rogue, yes, but Ghost Bow I think is better against meta.
Okay.
And Gren Maju has a natural like outing towards most Rogue decks to begin with anyway.
Yeah.
Because most Rogue decks can't contend with the amount of field presence that the level 8s, that the Dangers present, the Kaijus present, and also what basically one punch of Gren Maju. Yeah. Onto spells. Three Pod Desires, that's pretty self-explanatory for...
It's the reason Gren Maju is better.
Yes. 3 Interrupted Kaiju Slumbers. Great bait against every single negate possible in the deck, in most meta decks. As you'll find out later, even against like Drytron, I'll activate Kaiju Slumber. They'll attempt to negate with either the what's his face, Ultimateness. I do run Super Poly. Typically, Drytron players will have Ultimateness and the U Beta. The link, the next seed one. Yes. Those are both lights, but different types. So I can mud dragon into it.
Okay.
Typically I'll do one or the other, depending on what I know is in their hand. But against most decks, Kaiju Slumber is a good board wipe. It is ashable, but still, it's important not. Why not play it?
Yeah.
Even if it gets Ash, it still gets sent to grave, and if I survive the next turn, I have a Kaiju Search.
Yeah.
Super Poly is falling out of favor, but how could I not?
Yeah, it's still a powerful card.
Yeah. The last 3 cards is Twin Twisters. Main deck Twin Twisters because I run Kaijus over Cosmics.
That's a really, really relevant card this format.
Yeah, definitely. Tokens.
Only have the best.
So we'll go to extra deck first. We'll start off with the Super Poly targets first. So Super Poly targets consist of. So these are my 5 Super Poly targets. Sergeant Venom, Darks, World Legacy Guard Dragon Armaduke? Yes, Armaduke. So against Tri-Brigade players, I will typically bait out their Revolt. They'll chain the result of the Bolt, and that's the 3 links.
Okay.
Typically. Because typically they'll have the Appaloosa, the Ancient Warriors, and also the Shred. Dragoon players, anyone that runs Dragoons, I'll play that.
Yeah.
Hit that as well. Mud Dragon, why not? And then Elysium for the Invoke Shit All players. Okay.
So basically, if they make the Kaba plus window, that's a win condition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Onto the links. I only play 3 links. So the 2 link 2s, I play Nightmare Phoenix, can't not play that. And then Underclock Taker. Underclock Taker is really, really good.
You really haven't seen that card in a minute.
No one's seen this card in a hot minute. So I kaiju, say I kaiju someone, say like Sky Striker player or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Kaiju their board, like Gamma Seal, summon 2 monsters, make Underclock Taker, make that monster 0, and then I summon 2 more level 8s or Gren Maju for a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
Typically, I'll only do that if I know it's an OTK, because this is kind of a I wouldn't want to end with that.
Yeah.
And then Borsword. This is supposed to be the BLS link, but I don't have it yet.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. We actually can't get it in any lower rarity than the secret.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like what, $120 right now?
Yeah.
All right,
We can get a ghost and an ultimate.
And a secret. All right, so onto the last of the extra deck, which is all my Xseeds. So we're going for the rank 8s first. So these are all of my rank 8 packages. you have the 2 rank 8s. This is if they force me to go first.
Yeah.
At least I have a monster negate. Yeah, no.
At least you have an ending board.
Yes. Or if I'm trying to push for game and I know and I feel like they have Nibiru in hand and I'm able to summon like four level 8s, I'll make him first. Typically that's good. Dingirsu, wonderful card.
Yep.
Wonderful card. Forces so much. Forces negate, or force activation, basically anything that they deem as a threat, and then goes into the next set of cards that I will show you. This is the rank 8 kill package, basically. So you make 2 level 8s go into Dragolion, and depending on the matchup, this is for OTK. This makes it 9,000, or you go into Poe Harbinger, which against like Sky Striker or any deck that's like spell heavy, it's actually really good.
So it's a win condition against some decks.
Yeah.
But, you know.
The other 2, so you make this over Dingirsu, and then you overlay that over this.
Okay, so that's basically the Sky Thunder, or the Gaia Dragon, or the...
Yes.
What's the other one? The rank?
Downer Magician.
Yeah. It's basically just a downer.
Yeah, it's basically a Downer Magician for rank 8s.
But it does have good effects.
It does have good effects. Agreed. It's so if your opponent if it has materials under it, your opponent activates a spell trap, they automatically take 600. It's come up more than you think, and then also it actually has a board wipe effect. You detach one to destroy all monsters with equal to or lower defense than its defense, and its defense is typically at 22. But if there's another Exceed on board, then he gains more.
Okay.
On the side deck, D-shifters.
Now you said you didn't main this. Why is that?
Didn't main this because I play a lot of cards that do conflict with D-shifter. So say like, I'm trying to think of what. To be perfectly honest, I used to kind of play into this as well, but you can't not play Font of Desires. But the theory was that when I play Trade In, if I activate Trade In and then drew into Dimensional Shifter, it's automatically dead.
Okay.
So that's why I initially sided against it. I'm actually thinking about main decking it instead of main decking the Ghost Spells.
Okay.
Because Ghost Spell and D-Shifter basically deal with the same area of the field.
Okay.
So there's no point of having a Ghost Spell if D-Shifter is already active.
Alright. The only time that's relevant is like...
If it's negated.
Maybe if Dry Brigade, maybe just get like enough pieces into Banish.
Yeah, definitely.
Spell's a lot better.
Mm-hmm. That's all the monsters for side deck. Shared Ride, when I go first. I can pretty much tell when they're going to make me go first. Pretty much all control decks will not make me go first because they think they can handle the Gren Maju going second anyway. Typically, the only decks that make me go first are like heavy combo decks. So like your Prank Kids, your Dragon Link, your Drytrons. They'll make me go first.
Yeah.
And then this card obviously already hurts them pretty bad.
Yeah.
They don't want me to draw any more cards after that. Cosmic Cyclones to go with the Twin Twisters and then Lightning Storms. Cool cool thing to know with Lightning Storms. I will side out. I only side Lightning Storms in if I'm siding out Phantasmes.
Okay. Just because you don't want anything.
Don't want any conflictions. And typically, when I side out Phantasmes, it's against decks that don't use any links, which is typically control decks.
Yeah, or Virtual World. Virtual World, they summon it, mostly attack and do.
And typically, this card's already good against Virtual World anyway.
Yeah.
So it's fallen out of favor, but
it's still fun.
Still good. It's at worst, it's a negate bait. And then the last card going first is Different Dimension Grounds.
Yep.
Both of my going first cards, Shared Ride and Different Dimension Grounds, are both chainable. So it doesn't rely on it being a floodgate. It doesn't rely on it as such situations. It's just something that you just activate in response to like an action or in response to back row hate. So
Well,
that's it.
that's pretty freaking good. Other than that, what was your what did you end up playing against?
So round one, I played against. Where did I play against? I don't remember round one. I honestly don't remember round one.
Was it that the barrier statue guy, the toad guy?
No, it wasn't him. Let's see. No, round one was Tri Brigade.
Okay.
Round one was Tri Brigade. I 2-0'd him. Round two was actually you.
It was, yeah.
We were playing against Prey Kids. Round three was also against a Prey Kids player. I did lose that one. But I ended up playing him again in top four and ended up beating him there.
Yeah.
Round four, I played against Sky Striker. Sky Striker is so easy against me. It's not even funny. The Kaijus put in so much work against that deck.
Yeah.
Both Kaijus and Phantasme just put in so much work against that deck. It's not even funny.
Oh yeah, Phantasme, like that deck can.
I'm pretty sure they made Phantasme for Sky Striker.
Oh yeah.
And then top four, I played against Virtual World. Virtual World, I basically I got it was 2-0 on that one. He made great boards, made very very great boards, but he just loses the Kaiju number.
Yeah.
They don't have any spell and trap negates. It's just, yeah.
Makes sense.
And then my final round was against the Prank Kids player that I lost to in Swiss.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he ended up breaking game one. And then game two, there was so much oppression with both D-Shifter and Dimension Grounds that it was pretty much game over by then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of salty about losing to you. Literally, I feel like the only reason I lost was because I opened up literally like 3 fusion spells and
Agreed.
nothing.
Agreed.
But, oh well. It comes up. Well, I hope you had a great tournament. And
It's fun to play in real life.
thank you so much.
No problem.